We have with us
Driflower, Jade Driflower.
Jade Driflower. So you guys make some absolutely impressive equipment. You mind telling a little bit about the fans about the equipment?
Yeah, so we sell hang harvesting systems for growers. Most growers are hanging their cannabis or hemp on like a trellis or a net or maybe wire, string, any plastic hangers. There's just a number of ways that people have been rigging it. And what we've done is we've designed industry specific tools that streamline the process for harvesting cannabis, which ultimately saves you time, saves you money, and creates a better end product.
So, out of the systems that you have here today, what kind of systems would you say are the most effective for like the everyday average Joe?
Yeah, so what the everyday average Joe, there's a lot of guys, small growers, home growers that are growing cannabis in a tent. Well, we've actually got a kit that will hang in the tent for those guys. It targets about 5 pounds, clips into the tent in 5 minutes, and then we've got every scale moving up from there. The next would be a home grower that's knocking down some outdoor, that's maybe knocking 5 to 15 pounds. We have a product called a classic hang harvesting kit. The classic hang harvesting kit, it comes with a harvest rack, which is just your single level workstation where you're gonna move that around right next to the plant so that you can cut the plant and get it hung onto the hanger right at the point of harvest. And then from there, those hangers get moved onto the dry rack that is also part of the kit. And that dry rack can be freestanding in your kitchen, in your bedroom, in the garage, wherever you dry your cannabis. It's designed for home growers to simply erect when they need it, and when not, it'll collapse and disappear into the closet. And then moving up from there, we've got all kinds of commercial systems for larger scale cultivators that are knocking down 100 pounds a week or 500 pounds a week, whatever those guys are. We work backwards to assess what their needs are, and then we'll generate a 3D CAD render of their dry room that shows them exactly what equipment they're going to need, how much equipment they're going to need, how it lays out in the dry room to save them time, save them money, and organize their harvest.
Okay. That's truly impressive, especially the amount of time that you guys have really put into this, the amount of passion that you guys really have into making this equipment get into the hands of the growers, also getting into the hands of the everyday average Joe. I mean, truly, we have an example right over here, which I'll have to move the
Yeah,
camera.
yeah. Let's check it out. This is called a harvest. This is called a rolling harvest rack. Let's take a look.
Yeah. So, follow us, guys.
Yep. So this is called a rolling harvest rack, and this is designed for indoor cultivators that they can actually harvest their plants right in the dry room, again, at the point of harvest. So when they cut the plants down, they're going to get it cut and hung right onto these hangers individually. Once everything's cut and hung, these are going to get rolled into the dry room, and then this whole stick is going to get lifted off and it's going to get hung onto the dry racks. It's super efficient. It's less touching of the flower, which means you cut it, you hang it, and you don't have to touch it again. And then when you move it, you're moving all this volume at one time. We've actually got a dry rack set up right next door. You want to see the dry rack?
Let's go see the dry rack.
Let's check it out. So this flower was cut and hung this morning from the field from outdoor. It was cut about 200 yards away. We had it cut and hung onto a harvest rack similar to what you saw over there, except it was an outdoor rack, so it's built of wood and stainless steel hardware. Once all that flower was cut and hung, we drove the truck in here. Nuances that are in dry rooms, all this cluster, if you don't mind me saying, it's usually a mess. It's a disaster. But with this system, it literally is tucked away until you need to use it, and when it's time to dry, again, you set it up on the fly.
This is a long way from having the traditional, original, old strain.
It's a
Ar- on-
this is a true game changer system.
and
This
I
literally cuts labor in half or greater. It organizes the flower, and what's best about this is, we set people up for the win. So if they want to dry 100 pounds, we set them up with exactly that equipment so that they can hit that target and land exactly what they need to. So that there's very little gambling or questioning. Like, we know how we have the metrics behind this whole system that if you're doing 100 pounds, you're doing 1,000 pounds, you're doing 5 pounds, we have a system for every scale grower. I don't care if you have one plant, we've got a system for you that's going to organize your harvest, clean it up, and make life so much easier.
this is truly, I will say, a revolutionary thing
Thank you.
into the system, because you're going to be making it to where